everybody doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful, super fantastic type of day today so far. And if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Gabe and this is Gabe Loves Makeup. And we are so glad to have you here. And when I say we, I mean you as in me as in you, because this is your channel as much as it is my channel. So come on in, pull up a chair, grab your little cup of coffee, a little cup of tea, a little cup of Diet Coke or snack or whatever it may be. Because today, guys, we are finally going to be diving into the wonderful Miss Beautiful Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer. She finally released one. And then we also have the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Brightening Powder. We're gonna be trying that as well. So you guys know that we are always looking for a really good concealer on this channel, especially over the age of 50. We're always looking for something like that. So if you are interested and you wanna know what it's gonna be looking like underneath my eyes, is it gonna be crepey? Is she gonna be too dewy? I mean, is it gonna be too matte? I mean, what is it gonna be? Then stick around and let's find out together. Okay guys, before we get started, we're gonna go over a little bit of information about the concealer and the powder a little bit before we get started on the actual product. I'm gonna keep you guys a little bit further away and then I will pull you in and we will get up close and personal getting into the concealer. But first, just wanted to talk a little bit about this concealer and kind of a little bit about what it does. So this concealer retails for $33. It is 30 shades in this concealer. I have the shade 1010. So your boy might have made a mistake with getting a little bit too dark of a shade, but then I'd seen some reviews before I got to pick my concealer, and the powder had just the day the powder came out was the day that I bought it. But I'd seen some that said that they were too light and you kind of needed to go a little bit darker. Then I was looking at undertone. Then I like something with a little bit more of a peach undertone to it. I'm not really crazy about neutral and I'm not really crazy about warm and yellow on my under eyes either. I like something with a little peach or a little pink, to brighten them a little bit. So we might have to brighten this a little bit later on, but I have a product that we can use to just manipulate the product with without changing the formula or anything about it. So we might have to do that. So we'll see. But anyway, this concealer says it does a lot. It's got a lot of claims on it. I will also put the ingredients up here so you guys can see what the ingredients look like, as well as the shades. And then I will actually, the color that I get, we will actually see the difference between what it looks like actually on camera and then what it actually looks like more in person, and then what one looks like actually online. Because I'm here of late, guys, I don't know if you guys feel like me, but I feel like lately the foundations and the concealers have been very confusing. The colors have been very confusing. It's hard to really pick a shade online. Sometimes, Sephora or wherever you get it will say, it'll say it's not a match with the foundation that you currently have. So it's just really, really difficult to find a shade. I found this to be, and even as a makeup artist, I've been doing this for 25 some years, 25, 30 years. I still can't understand this whole system lately of concealer. Usually I'm very good about picking out my shades online, but this time it was really, really difficult. So I hope that we kind of make the right impression with that. And then we have the Airbrush, the Brightening Flawless Finish Powder. I forgot how much this one was. I want to say she was like 45, I believe, but I will put it down here below. But again, it's supposed to help make the skin look brighter by 60%, reduces the appearance of wrinkles by 81%, and dark circles by 71%. It's supposed to create a brightening, blurring, and line effect and target dark circles and shadows. So literally, this is supposed to be kind of considered more as like an under eye brightener. So it's supposed to be more of an under eye powder. It's unlike the pressed powder, which is supposed to be a little bit more for like all over the face, I feel like. I mean, you could probably use this one all over the face. I have this one I got the fair medium shade because I do like a little bit of a brightening. I was afraid that the yellow may be a little bit too yellow because sometimes I like a little, like my Pat McGrath one, I actually got it in a yellow and I liked it because it's got like a little bit of a brightening effect to the yellow, but that yellow I wasn't really sure about because I didn't see this in person. So let's just get what you guys came for and let's dive in and see what this sucker can do. I pulled you guys in pretty good. I hope that I got it pretty good, pretty up close so we could see it pretty good. I put on, I've already did, of course I did my skincare and everything, and I did the Charlotte Tilbury, we did the Beautiful Skin Foundation today. I had this in the color 7. AWHILE-17. I actually mixed in a little bit of one of my mixing elements that I have. As a makeup artist, you know, I have some little tools to mix in to make colors warmer or redder or cooler or darker or lighter. So if you guys ever want a video on that and just kind of how you would do that, then let me know. But if you have something like, you know, if you don't want to go to, sometimes you don't want to go to maybe more of a lighter foundation in the winter, I could show you how to do that by just using a couple of simple tools. So that way you don't want to have to go out and do that. You know, but let me know if you're interested in that. But again, it's mixing, and I love to mix on this channel, so we may have to mix this concealer a little bit because I did get this in the 10 shade. So this is what the packaging looks like up close. If you guys want to see it up close, it's really nice. It's a 0.25 ounce. And so this is what the doe foot looks like. It looks just like this. I have not got to play with it other than just kind of swatching the shade on the back of my hand. But this is 10 tan. If you guys can see it, it does have I got one because I wanted one with a little bit more of a peach element to it. So everything else, there was, I think the closest one was like one of the cooler colors that had a little pink in it. And it was like, I was like around the 1 or maybe the 3s or 4s or something. That there were a lot of neutrals and a lot of yellows in this one. So to find one with a peach element in it was really hard. And 10 tan was the only one with more of a peach in it. But again, I can brighten it or make it the way that I want to. If you guys are new to my channel, you know that I love to mix concealers, and I always usually mix a dark concealer with a light concealer, and sometimes I will mix a dewy concealer with more of a matte concealer to get what I want. But this one seems to have a really, it does seem to have a really beautiful radiance. I'm going to blend this out on my hands so you guys can see it just a little bit more. I've been washing my hands a lot, guys, so it's a lot more, it's a little bit more, lighter than my body because I've been sanitizing my hands so much at work. I'm in retail, so I'm consistently sanitizing my hands and stuff, but look how pretty that finish is. It's really beautiful. It's not sitting on the skin. It makes the skin have a really beautiful glow. If you know, I have really rough time with concealers. I'm really at bad time trying to find anything that works really, really well for me. So I'm really excited about this. So what I think we will do is I will start, we'll try it without mixing it with anything. Because again, I have something I can mix with it that won't change the texture or anything. It will just brighten it up a little bit. But let's just go in and see what happens with just the color on its own. And I'm going to take just a little bit at first, just so we can see what the color looks like and kind of see. I'm going to take it and start patting it out a little bit with my finger because I like to mix in with my finger a little bit. So it may be a little bit too dark for my under eye, but again, it's like I said, I usually mix something with it. So I don't mind having a little bit more of a darker concealer so it doesn't bother me. So let's go in here and I'm going to take my sponge and we're just going to blend that in a little bit and just see what she looks like on her own. And then what I might do on this eye is add a little bit of the brightening agent in it just to see what it would look like a little bit brighter. But see, we're going to do a brightening powder. But you know what? That's not bad. What do you guys think? I mean, it's not really, the color's not that bad, actually. It blends more in with my skin tone, so it looks just, it's not too highlighted. So, I mean, it's not bad, though. I mean, I'm not mad at it. What I'm going to do, let me do just a little bit more. Let's add just a little bit more now that we've done that. And I'm going to take my, I'm going to take a brush with that. BK Beauty brush. This is from the Hot and Flashy Angie collection. This is my favorite concealer brush other than the Selena, the Rare Beauty concealer brush. I love that one too. I sell that one so much because I actually use that one on clients a lot. And the same thing with the Rare Beauty foundation brush. I really enjoyed that one too. But wow, it looks pretty good without it not having a little bit of a brightening agent in it. So I didn't do too bad. I did pretty good. It's not too bad. I mean, what do you guys will have to let me know down below what you think. But I really don't, I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's not mad. I mean, it's definitely matching more my skin. It's blending in exactly with my, you know, my skin tone. And typically I would like it to maybe be just a little bit lighter, a little brighter. But I'm not mad at it though. So while we're doing that, let me just go ahead and touch up this with, I just want to touch up some little parts around my face, around my nose, and maybe a little bit up through here. Cause I was just so scared of this concealer being so light, guys. Cause I was going to get originally, I forgot what color it was. I want to say it was like five something, or maybe it was like it was like 5.5 or maybe 6.5 or something. It was one of the other ones. And then I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. This one is definitely not, I'm like, I don't know, I'm afraid. After I saw some reviews, they were like, well, this is kind of light. And I wish I'd have got a darker color. So I was like, okay, well, let me just go with my instinct, and I'm going to get one with just a little bit more color. Now, on my face, that is perfect. On my skin, that is like a perfect concealer to match my skin. I really like that. Look how pretty that is. This is really blowing my mind. This is really, to be honest with you, I was expecting to hate it. I wasn't really planning on liking it. I was afraid it was going to be like some of the other concealers that they have out now. They're a little bit more on that matte side. And after having a disastrous overview with that Too Faced concealer. That was just atrocious. The ethereal, that was so bad that I was afraid that this one was going to be a little bit like it. But yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. It's like really pretty. It's like really nice. Now I could take just a little drop of like a brightening, which we may after I do this one, to brighten it up a little bit. So wow. Wow, I mean, look, it's like, let me see. Let me pull my mirror up a little bit because sometimes I can't see it as much because of the lighting. So yeah, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, it's definitely, it's looking more, on camera, it looks really good. Up front, it does look a little bit more like, it's not dry though, it's not leaving like a dry matte texture. I can see a little bit more of my lines and stuff, but I have a lot of expression, so I don't really care. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad though. I like that. But I think too, if I brighten it just a tad, a hair, I think that would make it look just a little bit better. So what we're going to do is on this side, we're going to do it a little bit more on the brightening side. I'm going to take the concealer again, and we're going to swatch it a little bit more on the back of my hand here. And this is typically kind of like what I do on a normal basis anyway. So I'm going to take a little bit of, I have this RC May palette, and I have this, and I have you can take the white and brighten a little bit with it, or you can take the yellow to make it warmer, the red to make it a little bit more on the cooler. If you want to make it a little bit more peachy, you can make the blue to give it more of a coolness, and then you have the black if you want to make it a little darker. So, and then this is kind of like it's just a silicone. It's kind of a priming to smooth things out with. So this is a great palette, by the way, if you guys are ever interested in it. If you want to, these are great to mix in. Now they make cheaper ones than this. Like I think LA Color makes some really cool color correctors too. So if you're looking for something like that, you can get it in the drugstore too. So don't think you have to go out and buy a big fancy palette like that. I use that one because of makeup artistry, and I really like having it. I'm sorry, I like to bite my lip a lot. I have a really bad habit of biting my lips, and so I always feel like I have a place on my lip because I've been biting them so much lately. It's probably my nerves, because when I get nervous or something, I have like these little habits that I've had throughout my life. I'd switch them around though, but biting my lip is one of those. So if it looks like that's what I have a little place on my lip from biting my lip. But this is what it looks like. So this is the color Straight Out that we used, and this is with it brightening. So you can see the difference with it brightened out a little bit more than this. So it may be a little bit too bright, but I mean, we're going to see. We're going to play with it. This is what we have it on the channel for, and this is what we're playing with. So I'm going to take just a little bit, and we're going to tap it on there. And just to start off with, just like the other side, I'm going to take a little bit with my sponge, and we're just going to kind of work it in. Because what I might do is, with the powder, I'd like to see what this one does, brightening maybe without this in it. But we're going to take a little bit more and add a little more to it to see what it looks like with the brightening, one with, and one without. It looks a little brighter. Does this one look like a little bit lit more? This one side does look a little bit more lifted, I think. But for this to be straight out though, I'm not mad at it still. What do you guys think? I have to say the brightening side to me looks a little better. Just because it brightened it up just a little bit, but really it's not bad. Look, with this side, with the brightening, and this over here. And let me just look up close a little bit. Yeah, actually, I think I do prefer it a little bit more with just a little bit more. But now, too, we haven't done the powder yet either. So when the powder goes on, it's definitely going to brighten it up some, too. I feel like this one is just a little bit more, again, it's a little bit more brighter than this one. But, I mean, again, I'm not mad at this side. So even with the color being a little darker, I'm not mad at it. But now to balance it out, let's do it with the brightening powder first before I do it to see if I need to add the brightening color to this one before we set it. So let's just see what it looks like with the brightening powder. Isn't the compact beautiful? It's a really beautiful compact. And it's a 0.9 ounce, so it may be a little bit bigger than the original one. But then you're probably just gonna use this under your eyes, so you probably won't use it for your whole face. So the texture of this powder, as I think Michelle Wong had described in her video, it feels so amazing. It's very, 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 it's hard to describe. So I'm going to take the powder right here by the concealer, and look how beautiful it goes into the skin. It goes into the skin really beautifully. And that was probably a little bit too much, but just to show, I wanted to be able to show you guys, but look how beautiful. It almost gives this really beautiful airbrushed kind of reflection on the skin. It's really super pretty. So I'm going to take my Refer brush. This is my number 19 Refer brush. We're going to take a little bit of it, and I'm going to tap it a little bit in the powder. Let me make sure that we don't have any creases on this side. And let me just go in, and then let me just gonna tap just a little bit of that up underneath the eye area. And you guys know I'm not really crazy about under eye powders. But here of late, I've gotten a little bit better, and being on YouTube, I do like it. It does look really pretty on camera. In person, sometimes it doesn't always look the best. So, I mean, okay, so I will tell you a little bit of it goes a long way. You don't need a lot of it. It did definitely take away the radiance that I had underneath. So I don't know. I'm going to have to say, I don't know. It looks okay. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it feels like it looks a little brighter? I'll put a little bit more there. Because I would probably take this. Now that I can see it right here where I'm going down here where I'm patting it out a little more. And then let me take it up here on my forehead. I might as well let's go ahead and just kind of set. I haven't done any powder on my face yet at all. I'm just going to brighten it up a little bit in the middle to give more of that angelic look. Since I've got so much color lately, it's just, see how much more brighter that looks than this side. It does look a lot brighter. I'll give it that for sure. It does blur the skin out though. So if you're dry, keep that in mind because it's going to make you look a lot more flatter. So if you worked really hard to get a glow, I mean, the glow eventually will come out again later. And if you spray it, some of the texture will go away. I don't know how I feel about it underneath the eyes though. I mean, it looks a little, it's not, I mean, from here, it looks really good. I mean, even if I come up close, it looks pretty good. But again, I've got ring lights on, so let me turn this down just a second. Let me turn that off for just a second. So this is what you guys can see, what it looks like without the light. So again, this side's not bad with it being more with the powder, but I feel like this side now looks a little drier because of the powder. And I kind of prefer now this side better because it looks more radiant. So, I mean, I don't know whether you would need the powder. And if you have the older powder and you've used it, I mean, really, do you need this powder? I don't know. It's kind of, maybe by the end we'll kind of see and tell. I don't really feel like we see it. I'm just going to go ahead and tap in this a little bit and just go in here. And we're just going to go ahead and set this side without the brightener and just see what happens without adding brightener to it. And again, you want to be very, very, very light with it because it's definitely something you don't need a ton of. Well, I definitely can see it with the concealer. So I actually have to say I prefer this side with the powder on this side more than this side. Because on this side, it looks up close, it looks a lot drier on this side because I mixed in with mixed in it to make it a little lighter. I liked it better before without the powder on this side. This side, I actually like it with the powder. It did brighten it up a lot. It did give it like a little bit like I added something to it, but it looks really natural. Okay, well, let me take a little bit more here on the face. Let me just smooth that out a little more. Since we got the other side, and I was kind of like dust a little more on it just to brighten it out more. So what does Miss Piggy say? So definitely with the one mixed with the one that I mixed with a little bit of just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Definitely it is. Don't think it's going to be very good to mix with other products. I don't think it's going to be a concealer that's going to do well with other products. I'll have to get back to you on that one and play with other concealers, mixing it. If you're a mixer and you like to do that like I do, I like to let you know about that. So on it with another product so far, it's not doing well. Or with the powder over top mixed with something else, it's not doing that great either. But since I sprayed it down, it looks a little bit better, so it's not so bad. But then over here, where we just did the concealer, it's, of course, the concealer's a tad bit too dark. I could be a little bit lighter with it. But again, I'm not mad at it. And then setting it with the powder did make it brighten a little bit more. But it does look better with the powder over top of just the concealer. And the concealer looks better on its own than it does mixed with another concealer. Which typically most people wouldn't. They would only do one concealer. I'm just a little bit over the top. And that's just how I've always done my concealers. But it does look better, much, much better without anything mixed with it. And with the powder set over on its own. Mixed with something, it's not doing very well. The powder on its own to brighten the skin on little places, it does a really good job. So if you want it to kind of brighten, if you're a brightening person or you like to brighten your skin with a little bit of powder, it does do a really good job. The texture of it is gone, so it looks really smooth now. It doesn't look like it's too matte or anything. Everything looks really smooth. It looks really even. I love the way that it looks. It does great as an eyeshadow primer. So if you want to use the powder just to set it, even if you didn't want to do the concealer underneath it, you definitely could. But you know what? I'm really not mad about the concealer by itself. I'm really not. I thought that I would be. But I'm not at all. I'm kind of digging it by itself. It's matching perfectly with the foundation. So it looks like it's just part of the foundation. I really like this concealer, guys. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful concealer, especially on its own, because then there again, normally I have to mix something to get what I want. So I'm really impressed with this concealer, and the powder is nice. It's nice. Do you really need the powder? I don't know if I'd go that far. If you have a brightening powder, or if you have like the Givenchy, or if you have the Jacqueline loose powder, it's really good. Or if you even have the original, the OG pressed powder, I really don't know if you really need another powder. I don't really think, if you like a really brightening kind of look, and if you use the Pat McGrath under eye brightener powder, maybe this one would be something for you to try next go round when you run out of that one. It's really pretty. I think it's nice, but I just don't think that the powder is 100% necessary. I'm going to play with the powder some more and then be able to give you guys more feedback later. But now the concealer, I'm really, really happy with. I think she did a really beautiful job with the concealer. You guys will have to let me know if you picked this up, or if you kind of ran into the same thing I did with maybe getting the wrong shade, which is, I can't believe I was so stupid and I did that. But you know what? It didn't turn out to be so bad. It turned out to be pretty decent. So I'm not mad at it. So I'm not mad at it at all. It is really super beautiful. It does remind me a little bit of my my Tarte Maracuja. The Maracuja concealer, the really hydrating concealer, it reminds me a little bit of this. The Tarte is a little heavier. where this one is a little bit more smoother. It's a little bit lighter. This is definitely more of a medium coverage though. I don't think you're going to be able to build it up a lot because I did about one or two, maybe if I did another one, I'd be afraid that it would be too heavy. So I think a medium coverage is what you're going to get out of it. A light to a medium coverage. I don't think it's made to be like a super heavy coverage. But if you are dry eyes and if you have fine lines and wrinkles, and if you have a trouble trying to find a really good concealer for that particular area, and if you're a little bit more older, a little bit more mature, because moi is 51, so I'm right there with you. So anyway, but it does a really good job of smoothing. It does brighten. It does make it look really nice. It doesn't look as cakey as some concealers do. Most concealers always say, oh, they're creaseless or this and that. It's not creased up in it at all. It's not creasing. It's not doing anything either on either side. It's not creasing or it's not looking bad. Like it looks really smooth. It looks really nice up underneath. It's still got some expression there. It's not going to take away everything that you have. It's not going to make you look like you're 12 again. But it does look good, and it's kind of working with my expressions because I have a lot of expressions because, most of my followers on my channel have a lot of subscribers, have a lot of expressions. We love to laugh and have a good time. So we do have some expressions, which again, that's life. That's the way it is. I'm not saying I want anything to take that away, but I do like it. It's really smooth. It feels really pretty. It blends in good with the foundation. I also have to try this with other foundations, like some of my Chanel and some of my Dior and some of my other ones, and see how it works with those. But it works beautiful with the Beautiful Skin foundation. So if you do have the beautiful skin, it will go really well. I think with that line, I think actually the concealer and the powder would go really beautifully all together. I also had the magic cream up underneath. I used it with a little bit of the, beautiful oil. I'd gotten some little samples, and I put a little bit of that on before I put the foundation on. So it does blend cohesively all together. And then if you use the spray, you should be set. It doesn't mean you have to have everything Charlotte Tilbury. It will work without it being Charlotte Tilbury. But I really like it, guys. It's really pretty. I think it's very mature friendly. I think if you really want to give it a shot. Anyway, thank you guys so much for staying and watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. We're at getting close to 1.4. It's taken me a long time, a lot longer than most people because I feel like I just haven't posted a lot lately. But I try my best to post when I can. It's hard when you work multiple jobs, yada, yada. So you guys know the drill. If you've been around long enough now, what the drill was about. So, but we're working towards it. So, any like, subscribe, would be great. If you didn't like the video, I'm so sorry. You know what? But it's a thumb down. Hey, that's fine. You stayed through it. You watched it. You keep your opinion. What do you feel like? But thank you so much, guys. Please be safe, be strong, be proud, stand tall, love yourself, and remember to love someone today because life is way too short. And also remember to be kind to someone because kindness can go an awful long way. And with that said, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again in the next episode. Peace out, and I love you all. Bye. Mwah.